Hey everyone, we're live here in Nourish, Heal, and Thrive. We have another really amazing guest for you today. I'm really excited to bring Martha to you. Martha and I met through Bump, and I haven't really had much time or chance to really talk to her outside of those meetings. So I'm really excited to learn more about Martha today. She's a health life coach, and she's going to tell you all about that. So Martha, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't take for granted when someone invite me to their platform. So I really appreciate you having me and just to give your audience a little bit about me. I am a mental health life coach. I specialize in relationships with self, others, and God. Imagine a world without connection. Oh my God, it would be horrible, right?
Yeah, before you
So,
continue, your volume got lower. I'm not sure why. It sounded good before and then got kind of low.
is it still low?
We can hear
Or is
you. I think I
I
can hear you.
wonder if it's
Oh yeah,
okay. There it is.
there it is. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
All right, tell us
So
again. Tell us
so
again.
basically, I'm a mental health life coach that helps with my niche is relationship with self, others, and God. I do that because I can't imagine a world without connection. We were created to be relational, and so that's why it's important. I help families, couples, and individuals go through, navigate through relationship issues and help them so they can be a so they can show up better in life because I think that's very important.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really important. But so you said something really important that kind of went over. You said you help people with relationships with themselves and with God.
Yes.
You
Yes, I
want to talk
am
a little bit more
a
about that?
yes, because a lot of times, we pretty much authentic when we're born. We really are at our raw, at our, purest, right? And then all of these things come into your life and as you deal with the world, all of the stimulus that come to us and the beliefs, the information that comes to us starts to change our view and start to change if we change our thought process about ourselves. Once the thought process start to get tampered with, remember thoughts drive behavior, behavior drive results. So when that gets tampered with, now we're not really operating at 100% capacity. We are actually have too many ideas and ideologies and information, false information, true information, all of these things coming at us, and we have to sift through all of that, right? And so by the time you have a relationship with someone, all of these belief systems coming with you. And sometimes you gain their belief system. And so now you operating trying to please the other person or fit into their life instead of operating at your level of authenticity. So sometimes we lose that. And so when people come see me, a lot of times it's because their belief systems don't align with their core values. And so now they disturbed and under distress. So they're trying to figure out what is going on. That's because there's something wrong with your belief system as it relates to your core values. So, like for instance, you get in a relationship with someone, right? And you really like this person. So you do almost anything to be with them, right? Sometimes it's even to sabotage your own belief system to be with that person. You start to compromise and more you start to you have no boundaries. Boundaries are put in place for a reason. And so when the relationship dissolves, you lose more than just the relationship. You lost identity, part of your identity that you connected to that relationship. Some was even false. But all of these entities come into play when it comes to that. Then when it comes to spirituality, now I am a Christian life coach, but I don't push my beliefs on anyone. But spirituality, no matter what you believe, plays a significant role in your growth. And so it's really aligning you with your core value and your belief system so you can live authentically. Because the minute you go against it, going to have the stress.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And what was coming up for me was a lot of like spiritual gurus and coaches say we create our own reality, right? But I think in reality we're co-creating, right? Whether we're
Yes.
co-creating with our partner or we're co-creating with somebody at work or we're co-creating with God, we're always co-creating, aren't we, for the most part? You
Yeah, I
think?
think so too, because, you know, people are, you have your own instinct. And so the minute you go outside of that, you co-creating,
Right,
and you lose that essence of the purity of what you actually believe, because you could you could change your belief given enough information.
right.
And if you deem it to be true, it would change your belief system. But the minute it goes against something instinctively that's happening within inside of you, you start to feel distress.
Oh, yeah. I see that in so many people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And
Martha,
so,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to ask you how you got into doing all this.
So, growing up, how I got into relationships is growing up, walked into my mom's house. And when I walked in, I saw an argument. It was chaotic. My mom was putting my dad out, literally with paper bags, and threw it on the porch. And he told me to go get him. And she told me not to. So I'm caught in the middle and I freeze. But as you know, they started to have this divorce, but I always carried a belief that it was my fault because I didn't do anything. Because I, for some reason, I felt like I could have controlled him leaving if I would have just brought his bags in, but I couldn't because I was paralyzed. What my mother told me to do, told me not to do. So I was being obedient to her, and I was disobedient to him. So I felt like it was my fault. So I carried that false belief around, which made me react to it. And I watched my siblings all go through different mental health issues as we were dealing with this divorce. And so I started to be curious about, what's going on? Why is this happening? Right. And so I was about 7 at that time. But when I turned 10, I would listen to my parents' friends' relationships, and I would literally listen to their relationship problems. I couldn't believe they invited me into their place like that. I would leave my friends to do it. And when I come back, my when I didn't see them, they would call my mom and go, "Where's Martha?" And I'm just listening. And then when I leave, I go back to my friends. I don't even tell. I never really talked about what they talked about at all. I didn't talk about it with no one, but I didn't know that was a setup for my purpose and the plan for my life. And so that's when I started to dig deeper and say, wait a minute, this is part of my DNA. Let me go do what I need to do. So I started to serve at that capacity.
Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, I guess I agree that, we go through different experiences in life because that's how we learn, what our purpose is or what we're meant to
Hmm.
do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. And I love it. I just love serving. I love doing it. Love helping people. What I love to see is that aha moment when they like, oh my God, that's right. I like to see that aha moment that's transforming their the trajectory of their life. It's taking them to a different path. It's not just saying, "Oh, you're right, Martha," because it ain't about me. It's about is what just happened to you, the information that you found out from what I helped pull out of you because it was already there. Did it transform you? If it transformed you, then I did my job. And so I like to see that. And I see it a lot. Like I didn't realize how powerful that is to be able to walk into a room and allow God to move in me to help someone and change their life. That's what I like
That's so cool. And
doing.
you just light up when you talk about it. That's really, really neat. So when a typical client comes to you, what is their like biggest issue, or is there something similar between all of your clients or people that come to you?
Actually, you know what I learned? I learned a study as I was being with clients. I learned to study the root cause. What's the root cause to these, these things that's happening in their relationships? And it's three things I kind of figured out that's common. And that's number one is, are they aligned? If How can we walk unless we agree? So when you find that they're not aligned, that is huge in separating relationships, period, whether it's community, organizations, marriage, family, when you're not aligned, oh yeah, you're gonna have it's a recipe to relationship failure. Now, all of the other stuff outside of like when they stonewall each other, those are the little foxes that destroy the vine. Or those little behavior tactics that happens, those are symptoms that something is wrong with your relationship, but the root cause could be you're not aligned, financial distress, or it could be where can I be transparent without losing my credibility? How many people want to have that where you could just let it out and know, and you still keep the position that you hold is not strained, or your precious cargo is not roaming around being talked about or judged or ridiculed? And when I say precious cargo, that's your information that you're giving out. That's precious. And if I can't carry that for you, then the relationship is going to be strained. And so a lot of times it's getting them to understand, let's get you back aligned, or let's one of those you operate in. Let's see which one it is.
I see.
And then you work from that. I work from that framework, and then I help them proof their relationship through understanding the little foxes that destroy the vine.
Oh, that's great. And I think
Yeah,
I think most people don't realize how important relationships are, right? Because if you want to get paid, somebody's got to pay you, right? Money just doesn't come from nowhere. So you have to have a
right.
relationship with whether it's a boss at work or a client or whatever it
Yes.
is, you need
Hmm.
a relationship to get paid. If giving and receiving love is all relationship. So
It's
uh,
all relationship.
yeah,
It's
so
all that's why companies have core values. Because if you don't align with their core values, then you're not going to be able to help the company move forward in a healthy way. So a lot of times people overlook stuff like that, but those are really huge and very important for values of a company.
yeah, I never really thought of it, but
It
you know,
helps to see, do we align?
yeah.
And if we don't, imagine how many people you've actually partnered with, but you realize you didn't align with them, and how you want to pull out because it just didn't fit. But pulling out it caused the relationship distress because you realize this is not, we don't align. Now, can you get them aligned if they both parties want to? Yes, but if they don't, then it's gonna always be turbulence.
Get it.
And then when you think about all three encompasses one thing, am I safe? And that's what we want to feel in a relationship. We want to feel safe.
Hmm. So what's the good step people can take to feel safe in a relationship?
Just open up and be yourself. Tell a person the truth. Because when you tell someone the truth, you get them a choice. If you're not honest with someone, you rob them of choosing. And it is the most powerful gift we have is the gift of choice.
Mm. Wow, so powerful. Oh, Martha, thank you. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share?
Um, no, I don't think so.
Okay. This has been really great. I really intrigued. I really enjoyed learning more about you. And if you're listening and watching this and you resonate with Martha, she's going to put her links in the comments here so you can get in touch with her and you can ask her questions or she's going to be launching a Facebook group, I know, in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, in the next couple of weeks.
So you'll be able to join that and learn more about what Martha has to offer. So thank you, Martha. Any final words for the people watching this today?
I would say value the relationships and foster the relationships that you have. You can live in isolation, but it's going to cause you traumatic distress. Relationships are built for learning and growing. Don't rob yourself of your growth.
Love that. Don't rob yourself of your growth. And it's really good stuff, Martha. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. If you want to be spotlighted here in Nourish Heal and Thrive, just put interview in the comments and we'll spotlight you too. So you can share your gifts, or even if you're just struggling and need some extra support, people find this very therapeutic. So come and share whatever you want to share. So thank you again, Martha, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.